Hello everyone. For this week's tutorial, I'd like to introduce scales, as well as how the musical alphabet is organized according to scales. You may recall me mentioning a few tutorial videos ago how an octave refers to sounds that are twice or half as pitched as the sound you are working with. This is, in fact, the mathematical basis of how scales are composed, where every scale is based off of 12 notes called the chromatic scale, and most scales used in music are even less than that and are only 8 notes. The 8-note scale is so common, and in fact is the reason why it is called an octave, as the oct prefix means 8, like you hear an octagon. Also for this reason, the 8 notes that makes up an octave is actually given English characters A through G, although the 8th note is the same as the first note, to reflect how it has an octave difference. Confusingly, 8-note scales start at C rather than A. So after G, you go back to A. Almost all instruments, whether natural or synthesized, can obviously play much more than 8 notes. And so, to cover all the possible frequencies, there is also a subscript after each letter, determining which number scale it is on. For example, C subscript 0 is the lowest pitch, C subscript 1 is the C an octave above the lowest possible pitch, and so on. As mentioned several times, an octave has a strict mathematical definition of 2 or 1/2. This means that you can also mathematically derive the difference in pitches along either the chromatic scale or the more common one, where the chromatic scale would be 12th root of 2 as the difference in pitch, and the more common one with English alphabet notation being 8th root of 2 instead. This means that D subscript 0 would be approximately 1.09 times the pitch of C subscript 0, and then you would multiply D subscript 0 by the same amount to get E subscript 0, and so on. The mnemonic you are often taught in elementary and middle school musical classes, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, is actually what is used to teach you the musical alphabet, with the 2 do's referring to C's, the re above the first do referring to a D, the mi above the re referring to an E, and so on. You may hear that the official term for the do-re scale is C major, but I will not go into much more detail until next week's tutorial about what exactly that means, as C major refers to a key signature, which is beyond the scope of this tutorial. Join me in next week's tutorial where I'll discuss the final and most sophisticated of music theory, the key signature of a song, as well as what sharp and flat means in terms of pitch. Don't forget to subscribe if you found this video informative, and make sure to see other tutorial videos, and follow me on either Facebook or Twitter for more content.